Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started on hemming our circle skirt. Now this is a size 4 actually, so I was able to cut it out on the double fold. So you can see I have this whole circle skirt. It won't fit in the whole frame, will it? Yep, there we go. If you are doing 2 half circles, you will need to place those right sides together like that, and sew. Not quite like this, but a little bit nicer. Take them and line up your edges, and you'll sew down the 2 sides to create one big circle, just like this. So hemming a circle skirt, a lot of people don't like to do it. I actually really like doing it. I find it very easy. I'm going to give you a few tips. The first thing is you can fold it 1/4 inch and press. And then you can come back and fold it an additional 1/4 inch and press all the way around, and then top stitch at 1/8 inch from the edge. But I'm not the biggest fan of that. That's the cleaner, more professional looking way. I like to just serge around the edge, and then I either use steam a seam or I just fold it and press and top stitch it. Make it easy. So I'm going to go ahead and serge the edge of my skirt. I'll be back. Okay. We are going to go ahead and get started. I serged around the whole entire outer edge of the circle skirt. Now there's a few things that you can do. Like I said, you can just fold it 1/2 inch all the way around and give it a good press. If you want to secure the hem while you're pressing it, you can use steam a seam. You just place this as close to the edge as you can, just like this. And you just do this all the way around the whole entire skirt edge. You press this, and then you peel the paper back, and then you fold it your 1/2 inch and press again. That will stabilize your hem while you're sewing it. You can also pin it by folding up 1/2 inch, or if you know, and this also works. These techniques work if you're also doing the 1/4 inch, just to kind of hold it in place while you're sewing. So then you can just pin it. I like to pin just like every 5 or 6 inches, because that's, you know, I can sew about that much and guide it without having too much wiggling or anything like that. So every few inches, just go ahead and pin around your entire skirt. If you don't want to pin, you can also use clips, which I had. Here's my clips. So if you want to use these Wonder clips, these are also a great notion to have on hand. Oh, and this is the fabric that we used in our other skirt that we did for the sew along. Okay, so yeah, just clip it, pin it, or easy or steam a seam. Whatever one works best for you. There have been times where I was in a real big hurry, and I normally top stitch right side up, and making sure that my top stitching line is perfectly even with the edge. That way, there's been times though where I have ran it through the machine and had a coordinating bobbin thread. So in this case I would have a yellow in my bobbin, and I would just fold it 1/2 inch, and I would sew a couple inches, and I'd fold, sew, fold, sew. So whatever works best for you, do that. Okay, I went ahead and hemmed the circle skirt. The one thing you want to make sure you do is press your hem. That's the one thing I ask everyone to do, because you can see how wobbly it is. If you just give it a good press on knits or wovens, it doesn't matter. It just makes everything lay so much better and look way more professional, rather than either a wavy or like a kind of a fat, fluffy looking hem. I like everything to be nice and flat, so go ahead and press the entire circle. So now that we have this all pressed, actually we'll go ahead and get rid of our pressing mat here. Okay, so now that this is pressed, we are going to attach it to our bodice. So I have my bodice here. Let me just separate it. It's right side out, so is the skirt. Now I'm going to take the skirt and I'm going to flip it over so it is wrong side out. And I'll match up my side seams. I have these little lines kind of pressed in there, just so I kind of know where to line up my skirt sides, because this skirt does not have any seams. If you have seams, you just line up your seam with your skirt seam with the bodice seam and pin. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm just going to kind of, once again, give it a good shake. You know, I like to shake all the fabric, especially the knit, kind of makes everything lay flat. So I'm going to grab the circle skirt and I'm just going to start pinning it in place. It fits perfectly around the bodice here, so just going to make sure all 3 layers, because you're pinning through the main and the lining fabrics of your bodice, and you want to make sure all 3 layers are matched up. You don't want one sucked in, because then it will poke through when it's all done being sewn. Do the same thing on the back. Okay, I am going to head over to my serger, and I'm going to serge around the seam right here. If you don't have a serger, you want to sew this using a stretch stitch. It is extremely important in this area. If you do not use a stretch stitch, the moment the kid puts this on, it will just bust all of them and pop all them stitches, and you'll end up with all these little holes, and you don't want that. So stretch stitch across here or serge it. I went ahead and serged around the bodice seam. Now you can turn everything right side out and get a good look at what your dress looks like. So beautiful. With knits, we do not have to top stitch our seams. In fact, I don't recommend doing that at all. But as you can see, now we have a gorgeous summer dress here. This is the Skyler, and I used the circle skirt and I did the back cutout. And if you're adding bows, or if you did the big bow center, you can go ahead and add the center for the bow. Let me show you real quick. So if you're doing this one, you can go ahead and add your center, your bow center. If you're adding little side bows, you can add them there. You can use those bows to make cute little hair clips. I've also seen someone make a bow, kind of just place it like right here, super cute, whatever you want to do. There's so many options in that pattern. So thank you so much for following along during our Skyler Sew Along. If you missed any days, go ahead and go back to the Sew Along playlist that we have for all 4 days. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, please, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching our Skyler Sew Along video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're here. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Simple Life Patterns, and you can shop our website at thesimplelifecompany.com.